I was the invisible architect behind 11 family weddings, and no one even said thank you. For 8 years, I was the unpaid event planner, the silent force turning chaos into elegance, while my family called me Rachel the helper behind my back. They said I loved weddings. They said I didn't mind working for free. But what they never said, what they never wanted to admit, was that I was their unpaid employee, their emotional ATM, their family's personal project manager with no salary, no credit, and no respect. My name is Rachel Holloway, 32, and this is the story of how I disappeared from my cousin's dream wedding and made an entire family face the consequences of taking me for granted. If you've ever been used by your own family, if you've ever given everything and gotten nothing in return, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Let me know in the comments, have you ever been the family's free labor? Where are you watching from? This story is for you. I grew up in Columbus, Ohio, in a tight-knit, middle-class family where appearances mattered more than truth. I was the youngest of three, the only daughter, and the only one without kids, which, in their eyes, meant I had plenty of time to help. I earned a degree in event management from Ohio State, full of dreams of launching my own business. But my family had other plans. The first time it happened, I didn't even realize I was being set up. I was 22, fresh out of college, and my cousin Lena's wedding was coming up. She asked if I could help with the centerpieces. Just a little. I thought, sure, I'll make it special. I spent a week designing floral arrangements, coordinating with the florist, and even hand-painting place cards. By the time the wedding arrived, I was managing the timeline, handling vendor calls, and calming last-minute crises, while Lena got spa treatments and went dress shopping. The wedding was beautiful. Everyone raved about how perfect it was. And who got the credit? Lena. She told everyone. Rachel helped a little with the flowers. A little. I got a pat on the back and "You're so good at this, Ratch." That phrase, "you're so good at this," became the family's weapon. It wasn't a compliment. It was a trap. It meant, you're talented, so you'll do it for free. You're single, so you have time. You're not as important as the others, so your contributions don't need to be acknowledged. Over the next 8 years, I planned 11 family weddings. Cousin Mark's beach wedding in Florida, where I coordinated 3 different venues because the bride couldn't decide. My sister Emma's garden party, where I spent 2 weeks hand-making 300 favors, each wrapped in ribbon I bought with my own money. Cousin Sarah's destination wedding in Asheville, where I managed travel for 150 guests, booked flights, and arranged accommodations while paying my own way because it's a family event. Every wedding followed the same pattern. First, the sweet phone call. Ratch, just a little help? Then, the slow takeover. I'd be scheduling vendor meetings, creating timelines, handling budgets, and working 60-hour weeks, while the bride got massages and the groom played golf. On the big day, during the toasts, they'd thank the caterer, the DJ, the photographer, everyone except me. I'd be in the back, cleaning up spilled wine, fixing a broken bouquet, or calming a panicked bridesmaid. I was the ghost of every celebration. The worst part wasn't the unpaid labor. It was the way they talked about my life. Maybe if you spent less time on other people's weddings, you have one of your own, my aunt would say, conveniently forgetting I'd just spent 6 months organizing her daughter's engagement party. Rachel's event business must be struggling if she has so much time for family, my mom would announce at Thanksgiving, ignoring that I had a full-time job in marketing. Some people are meant to be helpers, not the main character, my sister Emma declared after her wedding, where I'd coordinated everything from her dress fittings to the rehearsal dinner for 80 people. I didn't fight back. I smiled. I said, "It's my pleasure." I told myself I was being generous. But deep down, I felt invisible. The documentation started by accident. After Lena's wedding, I kept all the vendor contracts and spreadsheets in a folder, just in case. When Mark asked for help, I added his paperwork. By the 3rd wedding, I had a system. Every wedding got its own binder. Contracts, receipts, email chains, timeline schedules, vendor contact lists, budget breakdowns showing how much I'd saved them, photos of me setting up while the bride relaxed. I saved every text message, every last-minute demand, every dismissive comment. I even kept a log of how many hours I worked per event, averaging 100 hours each. The folder grew into 4 bankers' boxes. 8 years of evidence. Free labor. Emotional manipulation. Systematic devaluation of my time and expertise. The breaking point came when my cousin Melissa announced her engagement to Bradley, a finance guy from a wealthy family in Atlanta. Before she'd even picked a date, my phone rang. "Rach, you'll plan the wedding, right? We're thinking something really special. Maybe 200 people, outdoor ceremony, reception under the stars. Bradley's family has money, so we want it to be impressive." I had just been promoted to senior marketing coordinator at a tech firm. I was finally dating someone serious, Daniel, a licensed therapist who actually valued my time. For the first time in years, my life felt like it was moving forward. "I'm pretty busy with work right now," I said carefully. "Maybe you could hire a professional planner?" Silence. Then sharp. "Hire someone? Rach, we're family. You love doing this. And honestly, we can't afford a professional planner with everything else we need to pay for." I took a breath. I understand budgets are tight, but planning a 200-person wedding is a full-time job for months. I can recommend some affordable planners or help you find DIY resources. "Mom." Melissa's voice moved away from the phone. "Rachel's being difficult about the wedding planning." 2 minutes later, my aunt was on the line. "Rachel, honey, I'm disappointed. Melissa specifically wanted you because you're so talented. She's been bragging to Bradley's family about having a professional event planner in the family. You wouldn't want to embarrass her now, would you?" The manipulation was smooth. Make it about Melissa's happiness. Make it about family loyalty. Make me the villain for having boundaries. I agreed to help with coordination while they handled the major decisions. Within 2 weeks, I was managing everything. Melissa texted me at 11 p.m. with urgent vendor questions. Bradley's mom called during my work hours demanding menu changes. The wedding was 7 months away, and I was already working 20 extra hours a week. That's when I started seeing Daniel professionally, in addition to personally. As a therapist, he'd watched my stress levels skyrocket with each family wedding. He'd seen the binders. He'd listened to my family's calls interrupting our dates. One evening, during a session, he handed me a printout titled "Signs of Family Exploitation and Emotional Abuse. Consistently expected to provide free labor while your own needs are dismissed. Family members mock your achievements while demanding you contribute to theirs. Requests framed as favors that expand into major commitments. Emotional manipulation when you set boundaries. Your time treated as less valuable than theirs. Pattern of ignoring your expertise professionally while exploiting it for free in family settings." I read it twice. Every item described my life. "This has been happening for 8 years, I said quietly. "And how do you feel?" For the first time, I said it out loud. Exploited. Daniel helped me create an empowerment plan, not revenge, not drama, but strategic boundary setting with professional backing. Step 1. Document everything. I was already doing it, but he helped me organize it: emails, texts, hours worked, money saved, missed plans, relationship impacts. Step 2. Calculate real costs. Using industry rates, $75/hour for event coordination, 11 weddings at 100 hours each, $82,500 in free services. Step 3. Identify support systems. Daniel connected me with other therapists who'd seen similar cases. Step 4. Practice boundary statements. I'm not available for wedding planning. I can recommend professionals. My schedule doesn't allow for additional commitments. Step 5. Prepare for escalation. Families escalate when their manipulation fails. The plan crystallized when Melissa's wedding hit the 3-month mark. She'd gone from demanding to abusive, treating me like hired help she wasn't paying. The wedding had grown to 250 people, budget over $40,000. I was coordinating it all for free, while working full-time and trying to save my relationship with Daniel. The final straw came on a Tuesday night. I was at dinner with Daniel when Melissa called, screaming that the florist had ruined her vision. "Drive to the shop now and fix it." Daniel watched me endure the 20-minute tirade. When I hung up, he asked, "Rachel, what would happen if you just didn't show up?" The idea was radical. Not show up, but the vendors needed coordination. The timeline needed management. The family expected me at 6 a.m. for setup. The wedding would be chaos, I said. Yes, he said. And whose responsibility is that? For the first time, I realized the chaos wouldn't be my fault. It would be the natural consequence of expecting free labor. Daniel helped me craft a strategic disengagement plan. I booked a therapy retreat, 3 hours away, digital detox, no phone access, intensive workshops on family trauma and boundaries. Scheduled for the exact weekend of Melissa's wedding. 2 weeks before, I sent one text to the family group chat. Due to a mental health crisis, I'll be attending an intensive therapy retreat this weekend and will be completely unreachable. All vendor info is in the shared folder. Wishing Melissa and Bradley a beautiful wedding. Then I turned off my phone. The retreat was transformative. 15 people. 3 licensed therapists. Your family trained you to believe your value came from service, Dr. Martinez said. They created a system where you traded professional labor for basic acceptance. That's not love. That's exploitation. While I was healing, Melissa's wedding imploded. My friend Sarah, a guest, told me the full story. The family arrived expecting everything set up. Instead, vendors waiting. Decorations in boxes. No timeline. "Where's Rachel?" became the refrain. They called me. No answer. Called Daniel. He said I was at a mental health facility, exhaustion and stress from family exploitation. They panicked. By noon, 3 hours before the ceremony, they were in full crisis. Melissa sobbing. Seating chart missing. Music playlist lost. The ceremony happened, barely. Processional music wrong. Half the decor still in boxes. Photographer frustrated. Reception worse. Dinner late. Cake cutting before toasts. Lights not activated. During the toast, Melissa's mom said, "We want to thank everyone who made this day special. The florist, the caterer, the DJ," she paused. "And of course, Rachel, who usually," she stopped, unable to acknowledge me without admitting I'd done everything for free. Guests noticed. "Where's Rachel?" "She's in therapy because of family stress." The family's reputation collapsed. I returned Sunday evening, 3 days of therapy, a clear plan. 47 missed calls. 23 voicemails. From confused to angry to accusatory. Final one. "Rachel, you've embarrassed this entire family. Melissa's wedding was a disaster, and it's all your fault." I called Daniel. "How do you feel?" "Empowered," I said. The family meeting happened Tuesday. I arrived with the 4 bankers' boxes. Dr. Martinez's assessment. Daniel's professional evaluation. "Rachel, we need to talk about your behavior," my dad began. I didn't walk out, I said. I sought professional help for 8 years of family exploitation. I showed the $82,500 in free services. None of you would treat a hired planner this way. Melissa cried. "You're making my wedding about money." "We're family," I said. "Which means my time should be valued, not exploited." I laid out my boundaries. No more free labor. No criticism of my life. No attendance where boundaries aren't respected. My mom tried. "So you're abandoning family?" "No," I said. "I'm asking for the same respect you'd give any professional." The intervention worked. The disaster had shown them the truth. No one asked me to plan the next cousin's wedding. They hired a planner. Paid market rates. A year later, Daniel proposed. We hired a professional planner. Paid fully. Appreciated. My family dynamic shifted. Some improved. Others ended. But I learned the most important lesson. My value doesn't come from what I do for others. It comes from who I am. The 8 boxes sit in my closet now, a reminder of a chapter closed. If this story moved you, if you've ever been used by family, hit like, subscribe, and share. Let me know in the comments. Have you ever had to walk away to save yourself? Where are you watching from? Thank you for listening. And remember, your worth isn't measured by what you do for others. It's measured by how you treat yourself.